Welcome to the very first episode of the Be Revolutionary podcast. We are live from, well, not live, this is going to be pre-recorded, but we are here at the Cube with Emily Berry, my co-host. I'm Andrew Perrie, and we are, like I said, just in the beginning stages of launching our Revel podcast. We're very excited about it. We've got the full setup. As you can see, we've got this microphone here with a nice little boom arm. We are currently in a huge transition stage where Revel's just kind of been on this trajectory path of greatness, I guess you could say, right? I could say that.
Absolutely.
And so one of the important things as we grow bigger is to ensure that we're not losing that culture. And, you know, one of the biggest reasons, team support, and we are a family here, and we don't want to lose that. So we came up with this idea to create a podcast as a further way to stay connected. It's easy with 5 realtors, right? You can invite them to dinner. We can sit, we can chat. Our office doors are always open here, but it's rare that we have all 163 realtors in the office at one time. And, you know, we want to, obviously encourage our realtors and everybody who works, under the Revel umbrella to go out there and do their thing and really focus on their own business. But we also want them to still feel connected. So that's the reason why we've started this podcast. And I think what we're going to kind of dive into today is just a very, quick little podcast about Revel, why Revel, all the services we offer. But for our clients that are also listening, so this is not an exclusive podcast. This is not just for Revel realtors. This is also for our clients, our buyers, our sellers, and other realtors out there. We want to ensure that we're sharing our best strategies. We want to make sure that our buyers and sellers are staying informed about the market. And then of course our realtors are, keeping up to date with us as well. So Emily Berry, thank you very much. You're going to be helping out on this podcast as our co-host. Why don't you give us your little introduction? Because I don't know. Your titles are very long and you've got a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for asking me to co-host. I've always wanted to be a co-host. This is so exciting for me. So my official title here at Revel is Director of Realtor Growth and Development. I joined Revel when there was 8 or 9 realtors here. I was probably
one of the OGs.
Yeah, I was like the 8th or 9th person to join. And when I joined here, there was a really cool building. The glass was here. We had a great coffee machine, and we had some really awesome ideas.
I'm using it right now, actually.
And we had some really awesome people here. But definitely it's evolved so much. It was 5.5 years because we celebrated our 5-year, right?
Yeah, 5 years in July. So
163 agents. I didn't even know that number. Andrew knew that number today. There's people joining every week, and we've grown. So it was really easy to do this fun team building stuff, Andrew, when there was like 10, 25, 35 people. Yeah. But we want to still keep that team environment going at Revel. So we have never stopped our Friday Frenzies. We'll start there. We have Friday Frenzies the last Friday of every month. And I just got my invite probably 20 minutes ago to this month's Friday Frenzy, and we are doing a paint night.
Oh,
we are. You didn't even know that.
No, I didn't. I haven't looked yet.
We're doing a paint night, and they put a painting up, and we get our canvas, and we all have to try to make it look like that one.
Is there wine involved?
There might be some.
Is it wine and paint?
There's always wine in the building, so there'll probably be some wine and drinking involved, and people making fun of each other. But it's all fun. We went to axe throwing last week. Yeah, we were there.
I sucked.
I chickened out, and I went up. Sucked. And I was scared as axe. Like I got intimidated. And then Ryan started making fun of me, like heavy. And I was like, I got to throw this axe or he's just going to bust me up forever. Yeah. So I ended up actually being pretty good.
Yeah. You threw it pretty close to the target there. I got it on film for Instagram stories.
So I was pretty good.
It did disappear after 24 hours. So I guess no one will really know.
There were some surprise, really good people there that day. And of course, Ryan Serravalle throws the axe and gets the target every single time. And we were just like,
It just adds to the allure of Ryan Serravalle.
What does he do in his spare time?
Like,
does he practice axe throwing? Does he put together? Is he going to be practice painting? Is he going to be paint by numbers all month so he can be an awesome at the paint night? But anyways, back to Friday Frenzies are a lot of fun.
So why do you think, if there's other realtors or broker managers out there, I mean, why do you think it's important that, you know, we involve our realtors in the ways that we do, like Friday Frenzy?
And we get together. We always want this to be a very welcoming environment. We don't want people intimidated by other people and just approachable. We want to be approachable. When a new person joins, if they come out to a Friday Frenzy, they have an opportunity to talk with, you know, some of the leaders in their industry, and, you know, really get to know people. And when people walk in and they need help with something, the more people you know, the more people you recognize, you feel more comfortable to talk to. And since I started here, this environment has always been, you know, very welcoming, and people are, you know, love walking in here because at any given time, there's people in the back willing to talk to you, help you out. Hey, can I run a price by you?
You see, that's the important thing, right? So, I mean, if you think about, if you're a new realtor out there, or if you're a veteran and you can remember when you first joined your brokerage, this may or may not have happened to you, but I'm just thinking there's probably some people out there that can relate. How many people out there, you know, said to themselves, okay, I'm very excited. I've just got my license. We're joining a brand, and one day, 2 days, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a year has gone by, and maybe nobody's even reached out to you. Nobody showed you where that coffee machine is.
It does happen. Yeah. It's a competitive industry. Like, you know, definitely. So, there's so many reasons for the Friday Frenzies, Andrew. I believe in strong mentorship and looking at what other people are doing and getting ideas from them. And just knowing more people, and being comfortable is so important. We do fun stuff though. We do some of our things more people show up to than others, like the hot yoga, the goat yoga. We were so excited about goat yoga.
Oh, so excited.
And Andrew got
so excited. I just had to, so excited that I think my energy was pushed onto the goat.
Yeah, the goat
and
peed all over
the goat peed on me. So the goat felt like, and so, so get this though, the yoga instructor, she was trying to calm me down, maybe so that I, you know, didn't end up suing them for the urine on my pants. But she said, because this was the alpha male, alpha male felt like I was the biggest threat. And we had some pretty big alphas in the room.
Just trying to schmooze you over, so
so I didn't write a bad review. But you know what? I had another set of pants in my car, so I just changed and came back.
Andrew Perrie always has an extra set of clothes in his car.
Yeah,
and he brings portable steamers to steam his suits.
Yep. Right? It was definitely not for the white backdrop.
But today you're looking pretty casual, Andrew. I wore a jacket today, and I walked in, and he's like all casual. So good thing I had like kind of a more casual shirt on.
Well, you know what? I just wanted to make sure that
go with it.
I was as comfortable as possible setting up for this first podcast. So, but I think the Friday Frenzy thing, just all in all, it's always a good opportunity to rub shoulders with, you know, the top producers in your marketplace. You know, as a brokerage, I don't have all the stats right in front of me, but I believe we had 3 in the top 10 in and around there.
Yeah.
And then I think we had 27 overall in the top 200 or 300. I forgot how NAR broke it down, but I can get those stats for you, and we'll leave it in the description so you can double check the sources. But yeah, and I think that attributes to it. Because you have the opportunity to sit with the Emily Berry, the Darcy Richardsons, the Ryan Serravalles of the Niagara market, and you get to really dissect, you know, what attributes to their success, and then you can implement it in your business.
It's just a good way to have fun, because real estate can be stressful. You have a bad day in real estate, and you know,
real estate's not stressful.
He loses a deal and all this you know, you go and you just relax. And people bring their spouses, and they can invite, you know, their families.
Yep.
We have Friday Friends that involve kids sometimes.
Of course.
And I think it's just good, because real estate can be stressful, and you're building a business. You're trying to succeed. You don't know when your next paycheck's coming in, deals fall apart, and just having fun and having your family like where you work, because real estate is demanding, and we are all sometimes attached to our phones at all times. Oh, my microphone is not. He's got to fix my mic.
There you go.
Okay, I'm not a professional, so.
Hey, this is the first episode. So we we're going through some trials
what
and
a co-host
tribulations.
does, with their hands, and I don't know. I'm gonna Google.
Yeah. Well, the whole point, we're filming this today. So if you're watching it or if you're listening, we're still getting used to what to do with our hands.
Absolutely. But when Joe Barry comes on,
he's gonna be
great, because Joe studies, what to do, and I make fun of him a little bit. He's going to be great though. He has amazing insight on the market. We'll touch on the market today briefly, but probably we'll have Joe on to do some really good forecasting for us. He follows very, very closely what's going on. He writes our market updates.
The numbers guy.
He's the numbers guy. You know that emoji with the glasses, the really smart, nerdy guy? That's Joe. That's Joe's emoji.
I didn't even know that was an emoji, because I just use that one. That's the only one I use.
That could be Joe too sometimes, but he's pretty smart guy. But going into the market, we're going into March, right? Yeah. And our market's heating up. I know everyone hears that all the time, but there has been a really big shift in the last, I'd say 45 days alone, 60 days alone. And I don't know if we're going to see quite like 2016 and 17. I think there's a lot of people asking, is it going to get that bad? Or is it going to get that good for sellers? And I don't think so. I think there's lots of tightening on the mortgage rules and lenders. There's appraisals happening. We had 6 offers on a house the other night. It went 33 over asking. Yeah. A couple years ago, it would have went 80 over asking. Somebody would have paid a crazy amount of money for that house. But so I just find people are being more cautious right now with what they're paying. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. We've heard horror stories, and the court cases are actually coming back now from buyers that A, walked away because they didn't think the value was there at the end of it, or B, literally couldn't close because of bad advice from their mortgage broker or the realtor, whatever one it was. Yeah. And, that's something that's very important. So if you're a realtor watching this, you just got to guide your clients as best as possible. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, we have, so actually right after this, I'm teaching a workshop in the court. We have a lot of our realtors coming out to it, and it's on handling bidding wars, because we want to make sure that our agents know exactly how to handle it. And there's realtors out there, other brokerages, so many brokerages now, and they're not always educated on how to handle these situations. Yeah. So you have to protect your buyers. When you put no conditions in an offer and you've submitted to a seller, when they sign, you've bought a house. That's it. Buyers, you have to educate them on that. Deposits are handed in. If they can't close, there could be legal action. Houses go back to the market sometimes. So when we are looking at offers, like the other night when I had 6 offers for my sellers, we're really asking a lot of questions, because a lot of stuff did happen in 2016 and 17. Sold signs up for 2 months and getting a call that the buyer doesn't want to close. So that was a reality, and it was very tough phone calls to make. We want to avoid that this year. Like I said, I don't think things will go that much. Like we had stuff a few years ago, like 125,000 over asking, I'm not sure we're going to see that. I think people will be more cautious, but I think there's people taking out conditions already. No home inspection, no financing. So really that protection of how am I going to close that property? The buyer has to be able to close that property. Not, I have a house to sell, or, I'm pre-approved. Yeah. They need to know that they need to close.
In the end, you have to act on the best interest of your client. So it's not to say that going in firm is a bad thing. It's just your clients need to know. Yeah,
you just have to educate them. Yes. They have to make a good informed decision.
Sign Form 127 as well. You got to protect yourself as well, right?
What are the risks and benefits? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's people out there that can throw cash offers, and they're very strong. They have funds, they have properties, for sure.
Okay. So do you think that the reason why we're not seeing those 80,000 over 80 plus offers, 60 offers, is that maybe because we're still in the winter market? Do you think? What do you?
I don't know,
mean,
Andrew.
it's really hard to be predictable, but in real estate. But do you think we'll see a higher number in spring, or do you think what's going on in the world might suggest a slowdown?
That's a loaded question.
COVID-19.
So the lower price ranges we're seeing, we're going to see a lot more offers being registered for sure.
Yeah.
There's one in St. Catharines North End that had 30 offers. I mean, all the agents heard about it and we were like, oh my gosh, one of our guys actually got the house.
Yep.
But he didn't go 100 over or anything like that. I think we're going to see more and more offers under 450. 450 is like the 350 to 399, 429. That's like a real hot spot right now,
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely.
So we will probably start seeing 10 offers as being the norm again. The higher ranges, no. So it's always different in the price ranges, right? We always people ask how's the market, and I always ask them, what price range are you referring to? Are you referring to investment properties, rentals? Because it is different. There's a lot going on right now, so we just had stress tests changes to stress tests. As soon as we saw that article come out, I knew it was going to give more of a pressure, actually. So was happy that there's an adjustment for the buyers with their stress testing. On the flip side of that, I was like, this is going to really heat up the demand even more. There's rumors of 30-year amortization. There's interest rates dropping even lower. So all of that is factored in. It is spring market. I feel like this is spring market.
I felt as soon as the ball dropped on 2020, initiate spring market
the phone
here.
Started ringing the first week of January, and people wanted to see houses. And there's low inventory. And I know we say that a lot, but right now, the first week of March is the lowest inventory we've seen in a long time. So
I got some of the numbers here. So this time, maybe 3 weeks ago, we could have seen between 30 and 40, maybe even more listings. And now we're sitting at 15 new listings today and 50 houses closed. So that's suggesting a strong, that's seller's a bit market.
Alarming for us.
It is a little alarming because the inventory level is so low. So to further that, this time in 2016, 2017, every single house under 500 would probably have an offer date.
Yes.
Right? Would that be fair to say?
Scheduled offers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing that come back.
Yeah,
now.
We're seeing
all
it.
offers presented at a certain time and date. I'll be honest. I don't think I have done that in a couple of years. And this week was the first time we really had to schedule the time and date due to all of the showings in a tight day and a half span. So I think we'll be seeing more of that. It is an opportunity for people to get in the house when the market's just strong. The first person that sees that house is going to whip up an offer.
Yep.
So we do have to allow, my sellers on the house this week said, Emily, we want to make sure we're being fair. We want people to be able to come in this weekend. So that's why that does happen. I think we're going to see more and more offers, but everyone wants to wait a lot of people want to wait for the good weather to list. So it always happens this time of year. And we're seeing houses that have been sitting on the market since last fall sell right now. And there's a couple listings we were following, Joe and I, and we're like, do you remember that one? That was overpriced. It's been on the market forever. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it has an offer. So that's what's happening right now. Even houses that were selling last fall, people are like, well, there's nothing else. Why don't we buy this one?
Yeah, it's interesting you said that because
we need more inventory.
I saw a listing. I showed it to my clients in around October or something. And, we didn't move forward with it. And then the same thing happened. But you know what they did is they lowered their price and changed to an offer date. Interesting.
There's some psychology behind things.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So we've So we've got 7 listings under 500 right now. And 50% of 50%.
Is that just
there's about 4 that are asking for an offer date.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the ones that are not asking for an offer date and time, they haven't been directed, that are holding off 24 hours, 48 hours. Yeah, it depends, right? It depends on their strategy. If they want to list, if they want to list high, I wouldn't recommend a strategy like that. But anytime someone is listing around market value, all the buyers are interested in a market value house. So, when we putting up listings right now, I'm prepping, especially the new agents. If they have a hot listing that's going up, they're not as experienced.
Yes.
So I'm prepping them to clear their schedules and monitor these showings because they're booking.
Yeah, that's big, because my first listing when I got into real estate was in 2016, and the offer had 22 offers. The house had 22 offers on it.
Business in 16.
So it had 22 offers on it, and it sold $57,000 over asking.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it was priced below market value either. It was a well priced, well thought out CMA.
Yeah.
Because I did learn a little bit about that in school, but what I didn't learn about is how to handle those offers.
Well, the brokerage is the responsibility of the brokerage is to make sure their agents know how to handle these offers. And it's not just one or two rules to follow. It's a lot. Like today, my workshop will be like an hour and 45 minutes. I bet we'll be there 2 hours because we have probably over 30, 35 agents coming. And it's not only how to handle offers on your listings, and so many rules to follow are rules, right? Like making sure everyone knows if they're in multiple representation, setting an offer time, having all offers have to be in by a certain time. And that gives the agent a chance to review them all and strategize with their client. I mean, they can't come in at the last minute and then a buyer find out, they thought they were competing against 3 and now they're 7. Yeah. That's not acceptable. Okay. And there's going to be, I think we're going to see a lot more RICO complaints this year if they're not handled properly. So making sure our realtors know how to represent their clients properly is very important here at Revel. We have a ton of training.
And that's not even just for new agents as well. Like, I mean, it can be very easy for a very busy agent to let the ball drop in something like that.
I've seen realtors in the market. I had a guy, out of town broker, really mishandle offers a few weeks ago and really in our face about it. And he just was never trained properly. And he was a broker and it was difficult. It's difficult. That's one of the things I'll talk about today is when you're dealing with a realtor on the other end and who is not acting in a proper manner, ethically, and following the rules. How do we handle that? How do we represent our buyer properly when the listing agent on the other end is mishandling? That's a tough one. That's tough.
Yep.
So brokerages have to just make sure their agents are trained. Yes. And not just the new agents.
So, the market updates was a great segue into your training, right? So handling multiple offers and bidding wars. So now this is a good segue into our mentorship program. So how important is it, as we've already kind of discovered today and unwrapped, that it is crucial for realtors to be fully educated, fully informed, but in terms of bringing it to the next level, and something that Revel offers is our not only our Revel education, but our mentorship program. And that's your head of that department. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
So we don't just want people thinking the mentor program means you have somebody to call to ask questions, because it is a lot more than that. It is a huge responsibility of our mentors. And when someone becomes a mentor, I sit down with them for an hour and a half meeting and really explain the responsibilities, because they're making sure that new agent doesn't make mistakes and errors. So my job is to make sure the agents are selling, to make sure that we have all the training in place to help them grow their businesses. I offer one-on-ones with anybody that's having a difficult time growing their business. But the mentor's job is to make sure their new mentee stays out of trouble and doesn't make mistakes. So everything that they do in the first year is reviewed. I wish I had that in my first year real estate. When they draft an offer, the client doesn't take pen to paper without the mentor actually looking over the offer. When they list a house, it's the same thing. Amendments, waivers, anything like that is reviewed by an experienced top agent mentor here at Revel. So I think that's crucial to have that. It's not just somebody to call, but it's a responsibility of the mentor. Also, they have to allow the mentees to shadow them too. So our mentors invite their mentees to shadow them on showings, on a home inspection, on an offer presentation. They can't handle multiple offers on their own. They have to make sure the mentor is involved with that. So it's a strong mentor program. We have about 11 or 12 mentors right now. We don't let them take on too many at a time, because these guys are top producers and they're selling too, and they're busy. And so it's like everyone works together. I put on the classes, the mentors help me teach, and
Well, I think the most important part about the mentorship program is, we all are basically self-employed, right? It's up to us to determine how successful we want to be in this business. But with the mentorship program, it's like having a business partner almost, in a sense, where no matter what the question is, and we've got a ton of top producers in this office that are literally, I don't want to use the word hand holding, but essentially that's what it is. And they're there for you. So no question is off limits. It can be about an offer, about a business strategy, about a social media strategy.
Oh, just how to handle other agents and situations. Because there's lingo that they don't teach you in real estate school. I get calls all the time. The other agent said this to me. What do they mean? What are they talking about? But
I still say that sometimes too.
But my goal is, and I say this to every new person I sit down with and do a one-on-one when they come in, is I never want you feeling like you don't have the help. So if their mentor is not available, I'm their next go-to. I'm on the phone, I answer calls, I review offers all the time.
Yeah.
If I don't know something, I'm checking with our management. And there's certain mentors that do more leasing than others.
Yeah.
There's certain mentors that have commercial experience. So sometimes a mentee is paired with somebody that's never, doesn't really do commercial. The new agent is listing a commercial lease. Yep. So that's when a mentor will come to me and say, hey, and then I'll just pair them with somebody else for that transaction. Yep. We want to make sure they have all the help they need. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you hear this in real estate groups and everything like that, where no, refer. Well, you know what? If you plan on being in this business long term, sometimes you just got to say yes to things. But it's also important that you have your client's best interest top of mind at all times. So, yes. Pairing them up with somebody who does commercial exclusively, learning about the process, working together on a deal until you feel comfortable about it. I truly believe that you should never toss any opportunity away. Just because you're not entirely learn from it, use it as a tool.
Absolutely. If you don't like commercial, if you're a newer agent, I would recommend work alongside somebody on some commercial deals and learn it, because that's a whole aspect of your business that you'll have to turn away later on. But definitely we are dedicated to giving a good experience to the new agents. I didn't have a great experience coming into real estate. I had some guys at my office that would answer the phone for me, no problem. But there was not really like something like a systematic program where I was at. And I felt like a lot of times I was on my own and just hoping for the best and trying to get a hold of people. And I definitely want the opposite here for our new agents. So.
Absolutely. All right, so we've chatted a little bit about mentorship, the market, the Revel education. I think it's a pretty good start to our first episode. While we try to,
we're gonna have some specialists on. We're gonna do some podcasts with some really cool people.
Yes.
Actually, I was talking to a lawyer yesterday. I went for lunch, and I'd love to have him probably on, because there's just a lot of legal matters too, and getting different perspectives is definitely something we'll focus on.
Absolutely. So, just signing off here, we want to let everybody know, no matter how you're watching or listening to us, we will be available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, of course, and YouTube. So we would like you to know that it's not just going to be us the entire time, as much as you may or may not love us. But we're going to have some industry experts. We're going to have branding experts, marketing experts. We'll have lawyers, mortgage brokers,
and we'll make it fun.
some really cool guests as well. So we want to make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification button, because we don't want you to miss out on any of the content that we'll be putting out there soon.
Absolutely.
Okay. Every Tuesday, 9 a.m. is when we're on the floor. Should have every episode. You can look for it by the following Wednesday. So thank you very much. And we'll be back next week.